Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, the NFL season is always full of surprises, and this year the Dallas Cowboys find themselves at a crossroads. On paper, they looked like serious contenders, with a roster that is arguably one of the most talented in the league, especially on defense and the offensive line. But as we all know, football is a game of inches, of moments that can define a season, and right now, the NFC East is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in recent memory. The Cowboys, after a slow start, have been climbing up the ladder, and their upcoming games could determine whether they are truly in the hunt for another Super Bowl run or if they fall short once again. Let us talk about the big picture here. The NFC East has seen a resurgence lately, with teams like the Eagles, Giants, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. But the Cowboys have always been the team with the highest expectations, especially after last season where they came painfully close to knocking on the Super Bowl door. The question now is, can they finally push through that barrier? And what about the internal dynamics of the team? We've seen flashes of brilliance from Dak Prescott, who has had a mixed bag of performances this season. Sometimes he looks like the franchise quarterback we all believe he can be, making those clutch throws and leading the offense with confidence. Other times he has been erratic, throwing costly interceptions or missing key reads. The key for Dallas is consistency, something that has eluded them in recent playoff campaigns. But beyond Dak, it has the defense that has been a real bright spot. Micah Parsons, no doubt, is the heart and soul of that unit. The guy is a game wrecker, a true force of nature rushing the passer, and he has been a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks all season long. His ability to disrupt plays, chase down runners, and create havoc is unmatched. The defensive line, led by Parsons and others like Dorrance Armstrong, has been one of the league's top units in sacks and pressures. Yet even with that defensive dominance, there is an ongoing debate about the secondary. The Cowboys have invested heavily in their defensive backs, but they've occasionally been exposed in coverage, especially against high-powered offenses. That is an area they need to tighten up as the season progresses, particularly in high-stakes playoff games where every possession counts. On the offensive side, the Cowboys' running game remains one of the best in the league, with Tony Pollard emerging as a true threat. Pollard's explosiveness and vision have been a breath of fresh air after the departure of Ezekiel Elliott. His ability to break big runs and catch passes out of the backfield makes him a versatile weapon. As for the receiving core, CeeDee Lamb continues to be Dak's go-to guy, a true WR1 with exceptional route running, hands, and the ability to make contested catches. The offensive line, which has been a concern in the past, has shown improvement, providing Dak with more time and opening lanes for Pollard. But injuries and depth remain factors to watch as the season unfolds. Now, looking at the season's current standing, the Cowboys sit in a promising position but with room for growth. They've had some tough games, and the division race is tighter than ever. The Eagles, always a formidable foe, have a potent offense led by Jalen Hurts and their explosive rushing attack. The Giants, surprisingly competitive, are trying to make a case for playoff contention, and the Commanders, with their new quarterback and defensive upgrades, are always dangerous. For Dallas, every game is a must-win, especially within the division, to secure a playoff spot and avoid the chaos of tiebreakers. A major talking point among fans and analysts is the coaching. Mike McCarthy, despite some criticism, has shown resilience and adaptability this season. His game plans have been more aggressive, and he has leaned on Dak's arm and Pollard's legs to keep defenses guessing. Still, there are moments where fans wonder if he is calling the right plays at the right times. Remember last season's playoff loss, which was partly pinned on questionable play calling. That is something they'll be keen to improve, especially in the postseason, where every decision could be the difference between a Super Bowl appearance and an early exit. But let us not forget the big news that has been making waves recently. There is a lot of buzz about the NFC East, and, more specifically, about potential trades and roster moves that could shake things up even more. And this is where it gets really interesting for Cowboys fans. Rumors are swirling around the league about some high-profile players potentially landing in Dallas, and one of the most talked-about names lately is Maxx Crosby, the Las Vegas Raiders' star pass rusher. Crosby, who has been a dominant force in the NFL since he entered the league in 2019, has made 4 Pro Bowls in a row from 2021 to 2024, and has been named to the All-Pro second team twice. His ability to rush the quarterback, set the edge in the run game, and make plays all over the field makes him one of the most feared defenders in the league. Now, here's where the rumors get spicy. Reports have indicated that Crosby, despite his strong play and loyalty to the Raiders, might be seeking a trade. And surprisingly, the Dallas Cowboys are reportedly interested. It is still unconfirmed, but the speculation is that Dallas sees Crosby as a perfect fit to bolster their pass rush and take their defense to the next level. The idea is that adding a player of Crosby's caliber could transform their front seven, giving them the ability to get after the quarterback more consistently and disrupt offensive schemes from top-tier teams. And let us face it, with Micah Parsons already creating havoc, pairing him with Crosby would be a nightmare for offenses. It is a combination that could elevate Dallas's defense into one of the league's elite. Fans on social media are already reacting to these rumors. Some are excited, dreaming of a front line with Parsons and Crosby terrorizing quarterbacks, creating turnovers, and setting up the offense with short fields. Others, however, are skeptical, pointing out that trade talks are often speculative until they reconfirmed, and that the Cowboys don't usually make blockbuster moves unless they believe it's the right time. Still, it is undeniable that adding Crosby would send a message to the rest of the league that Dallas is serious about contending for a Super Bowl. It is a bold move, but Cowboys management has shown in the past that they are not afraid to pull the trigger on big trades if it means winning. Now, let us talk about Crosby himself. The guy is a beast, a relentless worker, and a leader on and off the field. He has been a key player for the Raiders, especially in crucial moments. Just last Sunday, he put together one of the best performances of his career, with 5 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, and his first career interception. Despite his efforts, the Raiders narrowly lost a tough game to the Chicago Bears, 25-24, after a game-winning field goal was blocked. That has been a recurring theme for Las Vegas this season's solid individual performances, but struggles to close out games and get over the hump. The Raiders, historically, have been a franchise with a lot of ups and downs, and this season they seem to be caught in that cycle again. The trade rumors around Crosby add layers to the drama, especially because Las Vegas is in a bit of a rebuild mode after parting ways with some veterans and trying to develop their younger players. If Crosby does request a trade, it would be a significant shakeup, and Dallas would be front and center. But it is important to note that Crosby has expressed loyalty to the Raiders in the past, and he loves playing in Las Vegas. The fans there admire him immensely, and he has become a franchise face. So whether he moves or stays, it is a story that will develop over the coming weeks. Now, to shift gears a little bit, let us look at the broader NFL landscape. The league is more competitive than ever, with parity across the divisions. The NFC East in particular is loaded with talent on all sides. The Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts, have been a powerhouse, especially with their rushing attack and a stout defense. The Giants have been surprising everyone with their resilience, and the Commanders, with their revamped offense and a solid defense, are not to be underestimated. For Dallas, the key is maintaining their consistency, avoiding costly mistakes, and executing at a high level when it counts most. Looking ahead, the Cowboys have some crucial matchups on the horizon. They face division rivals and some of the league's top teams, and every win will be vital for playoff positioning. The player development, coaching adjustments, and maybe some key roster moves like the Crosby rumors could define their season. But one thing is for sure, the passion in Dallas is palpable. The fans are hungry for another Super Bowl appearance, and with the roster talent, coaching, and potential trades, there is a sense that this could finally be the year they break through that glass ceiling. And let us not forget the importance of the Cowboys' leadership. Prescott needs to be clutch, especially in the playoffs, and players like C.D. Lamb and Tony Pollard must continue to elevate their games. The offensive line, which has faced some injuries, needs to stay healthy and keep Dak protected. On defense, Micah Parsons and the others must keep up their relentless pressure, making teams one-dimensional and forcing turnovers. Special teams, too, will play a role, as field position and clutch kicks often decide close games in the postseason. The NFL season is a roller coaster, and right now the Cowboys are riding a promising wave. But the league never sleeps, and every week brings new challenges, surprises, and storylines. The potential acquisition of Maxx Crosby, if it materializes, could be a game changer. Imagine that front seven with Parsons and Crosby rushing the passer, creating chaos and setting the tone for the entire defense. It would be a statement move, signaling to the NFL that Dallas means business. The excitement among fans is electric. Social media is buzzing with speculation, memes, and debates about whether this trade will happen. Some say it is a pipe dream, while others believe Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office are already working behind the scenes to make it happen. It is the kind of move that could redefine their season, especially if they were able to add that top-tier pass rusher. Now, wrapping up, I want to emphasize that the Dallas Cowboys are at a pivotal point. They have the talent, the coaching, and the fan support, but they need to execute at the right moments. The NFC East is not going to give them any favors. It is a brutal division with playoff implications every week. But with the right moves, whether it is developing their young players, making strategic trades like the Crosby rumor, or simply playing with heart and discipline, the Cowboys can position themselves as legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on all these rumors? Do you believe the Cowboys will pull off a big trade for Maxx Crosby? How do you see the team's chances this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news, analysis, and insider info. This is the place where true fans come together, and we keep the passion burning bright. Thanks for being here, and let us keep supporting our boys all the way to the Super Bowl.